Hello, everyone, and we are back here to talk about the mid-season power rankings for Survivor 45. Now, I'll be honest, going into the season, I wasn't really excited about it. My energy was sort of low, like Big Brother 25, as well as both seasons of the challenge going on, Challenge USA 2, and now Battle for a New Champion have been draining my energy. So when Survivor 45 came around, I was like, okay, I'll try to be invested in it, but I've already got stuff going on all around me, so it's hard to invest a lot of energy into this while I'm so strained right now. But with Big Brother 25 coming to an end on Thursday, and USA 2 is already over, and Battle for New Champions not that restraining compared to everything else. So I've been able to get into Survivor 45 a bit more these last couple of weeks, and this has so far been a really good season with some very unique twists and some very shocking outcomes. So going into this merge scenario, like I'm not really excited about this next episode with two people being eliminated, but I think this has a really great potential to be a very unique season, and I do really like the 90-minute episodes. Like, they allow us to get to know these people, and I think if they can continue to do the 90-minute episodes, they should, because it's been a grand improvement to what we've been getting recently. But enough of that. You want to hear about the people remaining in the game. But before we get into those people and how I rank them, let's talk about who has been eliminated so far. Starting off with Hannah. I mean, there's not much to say. She was in a really good spot along with Sean in the original Lulu tribe, but because she couldn't get over her nicotine addiction, she decided to make a public statement of wanting to quit, and they allowed her to leave. Like, A, don't come on Survivor if you have no intention to really stick it out, and B, don't smoke. Like, you shouldn't smoke. Kids, don't smoke, especially if you want to be on Survivor, because this is what happens when you're separated from your nicotine for a prolonged time. Okay, then we have Brandon. I mean, preseason, like, everyone was so hyped up about Brandon, like he was going to be the center point for the season. I mean, I saw right through it. I expected this from Brandon. I mean, I didn't expect this exactly, that it was going to be such a challenge flop. I'll say he knew how to speak to the camera. He knew how to entertain people, but he had no business, along with Hannah, to be out there. He has medical problems of his own, and plus, there's not a challenge bone in his body, so it's completely understandable why the Lulu tribe decided to keep Emily over Brandon. And then we got Sabaya, who was in charge of the Lulu tribe for the first two rounds, but then she tried to make a big move against her ally Caleb. She trusted Emily, which was the wrong move, and then she went to Caleb, and they flipped the script on Sabaya. She had an idol, but she chose the wrong opportunity to risk the power of the idol, which led to her eventual downfall in the game. I'll say this. I think Sabaya had real potential in the game. She just took too many risks at once, and it burned her. And I think if she did manage to stay in the game, I think she was in it for the long haul. Then we got Sean, our second quitter. Sean was pretty invisible for the first three episodes, and then we get to this episode, which was his food episode, and he he got a lot of screen time, and he had a lot of momentum going up, but then he got in trouble and it all just came crashing down to where he was going to be saved. The Reba tribe was going to send Sifu home, but then he got in his own head or just decided they're just probably playing me anymore. I'm going to take the control from them and just send myself out myself. So Sean said, "Vote me out. If not, I'll quit either way." And they let him do that. So 4 episodes in, 2 quits, 2 actual vote outs. And as for Sean himself, I had no real faith in him either way. So I was happy to see him go and keep Sifu. Now we have Brando, who in the original Bellow tribe was in a real strong position. He was in the middle with Kelly, between Bruce and Jake, and Kendra and Katora. So if the original Bellows stayed together in that single tribe, Brando wasn't going anywhere. But the swap happened, and it was him and Kendra versus Austin and Drew with Emily in the middle. And Brando told too many lies to where Emily did not want to work with him. So she sided with Austin and Drew, and the three of them sent Brando out. As for my opinions on Brando himself, we didn't get much personal content from him. Just strategy talk about his position with Kelly, and then to his boot episodes. We saw him try to form a nerd alliance with Drew. We saw him try to manipulate Drew and Austin into sending Kendra home, which was the wrong move entirely. I think Brando had potential in the original Bello tribe, but he had no idea how to navigate the swap, and he wasn't very entertaining, so I'm fine with Brando going home at this point. And then we get to our last pre-merger, with the last person who was voted off in the last episode, who in the Mergatory, we have J. Maya, who was my female winner pick. That sucks for me. Anyway, J. Maya was low-key invisible in the first 2 episodes, but then we got to the swap. We saw how her relationships with Dee and Julie, which were fake on their end, but J. Maya thought they were real. And we saw her rivalry with Sifu, which wasn't a big focal point, but it still brought some entertainment and complexity to the Reba tribe. We saw her try to save Sean, but Sean was his own worst enemy in that situation. And then in the next episode, we saw her want to try to get the amulet over the sandwich from Austin, and Kelly sided with her, which I know the logic behind why, but she didn't have to do it, and it eventually led to her downfall and put a target on her back. And that target was brought back into the Mergatory. Austin wanted her gone because of that, and the Rebas were completely willing to let her go, so her relationships weren't that strong. But I'll give her credit for this. It was between her and Caleb, and I don't think much active participation was on her part, but everyone put down Caleb's name over hers, so she was safe, but then Caleb made a big move, did a shot in the dark successfully, and J. Maya was sort of the collateral damage in that scenario. Even though J. Maya wasn't the biggest personality, I think that one particular instance shows J. Maya's potential in a future season. Enough dilly-dallying now. let's get into the 12 people who are still in the game and are eligible to be the sole survivor. Starting with number 12, I have Sifu. Sifu has literally no allies. The four Rebas that started off the game with him, they are completely willing to cut him off, and he doesn't have any advantages to save himself. He's an outcast on this in this merged tribe. Like, everyone has more loyalty to others than they would to Sifu. So like, I don't really sense him making it much farther into the game. Like, if he survives this next coming episode on Wednesday, like, he's probably gone the next week anyway. Combined with the fact that he has the lowest confessional count out of everyone left in the game, things are not going well for Sifu. So I have him at number 12. Okay, now at number 11, this one might come as a surprise to a lot of people since they are in a strong alliance that doesn't seem to be breaking anytime soon. But at number 11, I have Julie. For the fact that in that four-person alliance of Drew, Austin, Dee, and Julie seems to be the most out of place amongst that group. She had confessionals talking about formatting, creating that four-person alliance with Drew, but ever since then it's sort of like okay, we can show her whenever we need to have a bridge confessional between people, but we're getting something from Julie, but it's never really about Julie. And even though Julie could go farther into the game, I don't see the relationships or her own individual game or personality in order to get us to want to root for her to win. So for all that, I have Julie at number 11. Now at number 10, I have our returning player, Bruce, on my male winner pick. So my winner picks are not doing great at all. You win some, you lose some. But anyway, Bruce has been dragged through the mud all season long. He had a decent premiere, but ever since then, he's just been dragged by Katora, then Caleb, and like, I mean, I understand why people were thinking Bruce had no shot when Katora started dragging him, and he had no chance at defending himself in some sort of way. But the way I saw it was, okay, Katora is openly not liking Bruce, but that's all we're getting from her. We're not getting anything about Katora herself or her own gameplay. We're just saying, okay, I don't like Bruce. So, like, I chalked it up to, okay, Bruce has one big enemy. But then Caleb started disliking Bruce, so it's like, okay, there might be some merit to it. And then this last episode, Kelly is now against Bruce, so I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the writing on the wall. Bruce is in hot water, and he's probably not making it farther into the game. And honestly, I would have Bruce below Sifu if it wasn't for the fact that Bruce attained an immunity idol. Like, he found an idol this last episode, so if he's aware enough to know when to play it, then he can survive for another round or two, especially if he manages to get out like a Katora or a Caleb, the two people who are actively going after him. Do I think he has a real shot at winning the game if he somehow does get to the end? No, but I have more faith in Bruce making it further into the game than I do either Sifu or Julie, so that's why I have him at number 10. Okay, yeah. Now at number 9, I have the inverse effect of Bruce. I have Katora. Now, people are talking a lot about Katora, about how she's on the right side of the storyline, the trajectory of the game. I don't really see that, especially these last couple episodes. People are really trying to put Katora on the outs, which I don't think was ever really in question on where she was going. I think she's formally against Bruce, and her storyline from the premiere on has been how much she doesn't like Bruce, how much she wants to target Bruce, and how much that she wants other people to realize, hey, I don't like Bruce, you don't like Bruce, let's go after Bruce. And that sort of rivalry, especially in this new age of Survivor, can cloud your judgment and narrow your vision line, so you're only focused on that one goal rather than the whole game itself. We've seen those sort of rivalries before, like 42, Lindsay and Jonathan, 43, Ellie and Gabler. If you so heavily set yourself on, okay, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this one person out, I don't care what happens to me, you blind yourself to what is actually happening around you. So I do think in the end, Katora will be victorious over Bruce. I don't see Katora gain much longevity in the game after that. I think people would be willing to cut her and vote her off, if not one or two tribals after they get out Bruce. So even though I think Katora will win the war against Bruce, I don't see Katora winning the game of Survivor. Alright, let's move on. Coming in at number 8, I have someone who dropped down on my list dramatically since this episode, and I have Caleb. Now, if you had asked me before the last episode, would Caleb have been this low? I would have said no. Before this, Caleb was like top 5. Caleb showed that he has social skills and physical prowess, which makes him an early threat, which is probably why they voted him out. Tried to vote him out, but he played a successful shot in the dark, nullifying 11 votes against him, breaking the record set by Kelly Wentworth in season 31. Now, first thing that came to mind about this was, okay, he made an impressive move. B, however, there's no way after making such a big public move like that anyone's going to allow him to get any further into the game. For one thing, they were just about to vote him out unanimously, and B, like, if you let this guy to get to the end, he will win. So I think Caleb has potential to get further in the game more than Bruce or Katora, but no one's going to allow him to get to the end of the game, the final 3, and because that will be an easy win for him. So no way, no chance Caleb's getting to the end to win. Alright, coming now in at number 7, I have the worm herself, Kendra. I don't have much opinions on Kendra. Like, she comes in and out during episodes. We get segments of her like personality, and we do get some game relations. Like she's got Jake, she's got Kelly, she's got Katura. She's really solid and sticking strong to original Bello, and like she's present enough to to where I'm like, okay, Kendra's not in any immediate danger. She's not going anywhere in the first portion of the merge. I'm just not convinced that she has the the storyline backing her up to get her the win. I could be wrong, but I just don't see a path forward for Kendra to get to the end. Now moving on to number 6, and honestly, if you, I was back and forth between this person and Kendra over and over again. Honestly, these two are interchangeable for me. At number 6, I have Jake. Now, Jake is definitely someone who I had my eye on in the beginning, and he's gotten some pretty solid stuff going through. He's a consistent personality. He's most loyal to Bruce. He's got an alliance with Kelly and Kendra. The only person from Old Bello he's not connected to is Katora. In this new age of Survivor, you want to have a story going behind you, and Jake's story so far has been him nearly collapsing a couple times and his weight loss journey. I'm just wondering, is that a winner storyline, or is that just okay? This is a unique story, and we don't get people who collapse multiple times, so we're going to showcase it. Jake is a curious predicament because I don't know where he's going to end up. I don't think he's in any immediate danger in this early stage of the merge, but I don't know how far or how able he will be in order to win. So for that, I have Jake at number 6, and I said it in the beginning, Kendra and Jake are interchangeable for me. No matter how this goes over and over again, Jake could have been number 7, Kendra could have been number 6. These two are similar to me to where I don't know 100% the path forward or the ability line ahead in order for those two to win. I don't think they're in any immediate danger, but I don't know where it's going to end for them. And now at number 5, I have someone who has been driving this season so far, someone who has the third highest confessional count. I have Drew. Drew is the leader of this Reba 4-person alliance of him, Austin, Dee, and Julie. He has a safety without power advantage. He's been getting a lot of stuff for him. I'm just curious where it's all going to end up and how likely it is, is that people are going to allow him to get to the end. We've already seen people try to take a shot at him during the Brando vote out. And I think that his overall personality and game ability will show eventually, and people want to target him. And I know I'm not sure how likely it is for his supposed allies of D. Julie will want to try to save him, and he's got a tight bond with Austin, but I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if Austin will stick with him all the way. Like, I do think he'll protect him through like the final six or seven, but is Austin going to sacrifice his own game for Drew? Or is he going to try and cut Drew? Because out of the two of them, he might be seen as the brains and the better player than Austin. I don't know. I do think if Drew gets to the end, I think he's got a decent shot at winning. It's just a matter of can Drew line up the pieces in order for him to get to the end. I think if he does that, I think he's got a real shot at winning. And now we are going to our final four players who have the best shot at winning, in my opinion, and in the math itself. And now at number 4, we have Drew's right hand man. We have Austin. Now, laying out the facts, Austin has two advantages right now. He has an advantage amulet, and he has a fully fledged immunity idol. I think Austin is in a really great position. No one's really targeting him, and he has a really good social game to back him up, as well as I think he has some the best chance at winning some of these immunity challenges. The only thing that worries me about Austin is if Drew goes and if Drew goes, then how much farther can he get in the game? I do think he can do really well, but will some of these players allow Austin to get to the end? That is what I am unsure of. I think Austin, however, has a really great shot at to winning this game, and that feeling alone cancels out all of my other doubt about him. So that's why he's at number 4. Now at number 3, I have someone who has had one of the best minds for the game. I think she is the last. I think she's going to be the last fellow player because she's not so tightly wound to the Bellow Strong thing, and I think she's going to be malleable moving forward. So I have Kelly. And ignoring what I said before, I think Kelly has a really great shot at getting to the end, and no one's really targeting her yet. She has an advantage amulet along with Austin, which combined together can form a steal a vote. Also, she has a decent amount of voting confessionals. Sorry, just confessionals. And in all of those confessionals, they've stayed consistent, staying strong about the game. And we get to see inside her mind of who she wants to align with, who wants out. And I think she can get her hands in multiple pots, pots throughout the game. I think she can get in with Caleb, Emily, the 4 Reba players. She's already got people she wants to work with on Bellow, so I think as long as she doesn't get caught and people don't see her as too much of a threat, I think Kelly can get to the end, and if she does, she has a strong chance of winning. And now moving on to our final 2 players. Honestly, these 2 are interchangeable. I think they both have equal, if not the best chance of winning out of both of them. The only reason I have this person at number 2 instead of number 1 is because they are exuding the same amount of energy that certain other top tier players have exuded before, but it's not winner energy, it's fallen angel energy, which is why I have Emily as number 2. I think Emily is the main character of the season. She has done incredible throughout this whole game so far, from her struggling at the beginning of Lulu to how she has evolved as a player and a person. She's got a strong connection to Caleb. She's good with the Reba players, and specifically in Drew and Austin. And I think if she can smooth things over with Bello, I think she can work with some as well. The only reason I have Emily as number 2 instead of number 1 is because, like I said before, she's exuding the same fallen angel energy like that I've gotten before, like for example with Jessie from 43. I think Emily's not going anywhere during this whole merge scenario, and if she can get past the final 4 fire making in some capacity, I think if she gets to the end, she is winning no matter what. Even if she's at the end with this last person we're going to be talking about. I have full confidence in Emily. It's just a matter of can she get past the hurdle that has struck in so many other great players. And at number 1, we have the big toe herself, the last player, the last Reba. We have D. I think I agree with multiple other Survivor YouTubers out there that D has the best chance of winning. Edgic is on her side, most of the community is on her side, and I agree. She has everything going for her that says that she is the winner. She's getting all this personal content that you wouldn't get if you're just a mid merger or an early merger. She's getting everything that you want in a Survivor winner's edit. And she's got really good, solid relationships with her 4-person alliance, Julie, Drew, Austin, and I think she can work with Emily and, if she wants to, Caleb. And I think once the Bella Reba War is at full force, then I don't see the most of the Bellows wanting to target D. I could definitely be wrong about that, but I think that Bella would rather want to go for Drew or maybe even Julie first rather than D. And I think if D gets to the end with an ideal final 3, then she's got a clear path to win the game. I feel confident with my selections, and I have D at number 1 because I'm banking on her to exceed my expectations. And that is it. That is all 12 players remaining in the game of Survivor 45. Let me now know your thoughts down below and give me your thoughts and opinions on the remaining players and what you think I've gotten wrong and what you would have done. I would love to know down in the comments below. Now, future business. Big Brother 25 is going to be ending on Thursday. We will be seeing then who will win. It will either be Bowie Jane, Jag, or Matt. I know I should be saying Felicia because of when this video is going out, but there ain't a chance Felicia's staying, so sorry. We got the challenge battle for new champion going on. That's going to go on for a while, so I don't need to concern myself with that for a bit. Other than that, I got no further business to talk about here. So, Until next time, I am Voidtune, and goodbye.